because he can't do it as Deputy Prime Minister. But it's outrageous. It's a disincentive for every single board member to come and file a statement of their personal financial. It's an invasion of privacy. All public officers, including non-established officers receiving a salary in excess of $4,000 per month. That is too wide. That is ridiculous. Why? What is the necessity? What do you want to say? Every public officer in the country is corrupt? No, man. That is except y'all. Y'all are lily white. Y'all are clean. Y'all are all saints over there. St. Peter and St. Michael and St. George. And we are the only corrupt ones over here. And all the civil servants, we have corrupted the whole public service. Well, then turn away the whole public service. Send them home. Oh, man, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this paintbrush is too wide. It's too thick and it's too wide. We're painting the whole country and saying every public official, once you're serving, you have to file. It is not right. It is not right, Madam Speaker. And then you have scrutiny of their financial affairs. It's invasion of their privacy. And I want to say, Madam Speaker, what is it you're going to do? You're going to tell those custom officers, oh, those houses you have up on the hill up there, we're going to take them back from you? What are you? You're jealous of the custom officers? So much envy that you all have. So much envy that you have that you're going to say, oh, we're going to go and take back your houses? Come on. Come on. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. The other matter that I want to raise is that we need to stop imputing improper motives, Madam Speaker. We need to be more responsible and raise the level of debate in this Honourable House. I heard this morning my very good friend, the member for Barbuda, and you and him are good friends. But it's not right, Madam Speaker. We cannot continue in this Honourable August House to continue to slander and defame members of the public without any recourse. It is not right. He made certain statements about Antigua aggregates and said they rip off the sand of $300 million. Where is the evidence of the $300 million, Madam Speaker?
Gentlemen,
you can't make those statements without supporting and giving
the bill
substantial evidence.
The bill, sir.
I'm dealing with the bill, Madam Speaker. But I'm saying that you're allowing members of the government, Madam Speaker, to make remarks that are imputing improper motives to us members on this side. And it is not right, Madam Speaker. And I hope, Madam Speaker, from today, that you will bring some decorum to this honourable.
So you're imputing improper motives to me now?
And let us deal with constructive criticism.
Are you imputing improper motives to me?
No, Madam Speaker, not at all.
No?
But I'm saying you're allowing them, Madam Speaker, to make these remarks that are unfair and they're baseless and they're mischievous. And it is wrong. I'm saying that I support this bill, but I'm saying it is a fraudulent piece of legislation in that you're telling us, on one hand, there's secrecy and there's confidentiality, and on the other hand, you're taking it back. By Section 14, you're doing that, Madam Speaker, and that is wrong. The other thing that I would have liked to see, before we had brought this bill to this Honourable House, is some kind of public consultation with the stakeholders. The UPP have always adumbrated over and over. Public consultation, dialogue. I see the Honourable Minister and Member Woolley is doing that with the proposed taxes. But where is the public consultation when it comes to this bill? This is going to affect thousands of lives in this country. It's not going to only affect the lives of politicians. You need to walk the walk and stop simply just talking the talk, man. Come on. You need to walk the walk.
Gentlemen.
And you should have had public discourse with the stakeholders, with the various organizations, the various public sector bodies, and solicit their views and their opinions and their concerns. And then you come here. But not because we didn't do it. That means you have an obligation to do it.
Gentlemen,
so, Madam Speaker, with those few words, Madam Speaker, I take my seat. I support the bill, but with reservation. Thank you. Thank you. The previous Antigua Labour Party government pushed very hard for foreign investment into this country. It was meant as a matter of policy to create employment for our citizens and to develop Antigua into a world-class tourist destination. At the same time, it would bring tremendous economic development into our country into the 21st century. We were a proactive government creating or seeking at all times to create employment for our people. However, I think it's important, Madam Speaker, that I shed some light on the background of this whole Asian Village Agreement and investment up at Ghana Island and the surrounding lands. Prime Minister Bird then, former Prime Minister, invited Dato Tan Kehok, a Malaysian investor, to come and invest in Antigua and Barbuda. It took a lot of convincing at that time for him to travel halfway around the world to come and invest in a small country like ours. When the agreement was executed between the government of Antigua and Barbuda and Asian Village Antigua Limited on the 18th of February 1997, the then opposition, who is now the government of Antigua and Barbuda, was running scared. They were running scared, Madam Speaker, because at all costs they wanted to sabotage investment into this country. We all knew that this development would have created hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs for our people if this project had come off the ground. But the then opposition, Madam Speaker, sued the investor. They took the investor to court. Was that right, Madam Speaker? Taking an investor to court? Which part of the world do you do that? Is this a country or was it a circus? Well, we all know that the opposition sued the government and the investor. Madam Speaker, I need to give a chronology of the events that took place and the background of why we came up with this Asian Village Agreement and all the incentives and the concessions that we gave to Dato Tan Kehok. Because the Honorable Prime Minister in his weekly addresses, he makes remarks that previous members of the previous administration were in cahoots with Dato Tan to give away our lands and prime pieces of land. So far from the truth, Madam Speaker. But instead of making it a bipartisan issue then, and instead of the then opposition congratulating the government to try to attract investment of this nature and magnitude to the country, what did they do? They sued. They delayed the implementation of the project. Dato Tan's financiers were then scared. Scared. How can you sue an investor? A project of $400-500 million US. You think you're going to get any bank or financier to put up financing when you take an investor to court? What message do you send? The meltdown also. But the primary reason, the main reason, is that you sued the investor. Who won the case? He won the case, yes. But it took 2 years. You tied him up and you delayed the initiation of the project for 2 years. And then after that, Madam Speaker, you can't expect the investor to come back with his financiers after you sue him and continue the project and have confidence in a country where the opposition made it lucidly clear that whenever you take the reins of power, you will be doing exactly what you're doing today. Coming to Parliament, repealing all the incentives and concessions, and taking back the land. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you made it clear, you threatened them, you promised them that you would take back the land, you would take back the concessions. Madam Speaker, they were right at the time, because look at what they're doing today. The proof of the pudding is in the eating of it. And if Dato Tan's financiers were so foolhardy to put up $200-300 million US at the time to invest in Antigua and to build that world-class resort with 6 resorts, contemplated 6 hotels, what would happen today under this present government? And Madam Speaker, the rest is history. Because as you know, the opposition lost. They lost twice. They lost at the first instant, and then they appealed and they lost. The opposition then, the government today, the Honorable Baldwin Spencer sued the then Attorney General, and he sued Lester Bird, the former Prime Minister, and lost twice. But now that the then opposition is in government today, one would have thought that they would be more responsible. I don't need to stand here today